like to call the May Maumelle Civil Service Commission meeting to order. First thing is, any public comments for items not on the agenda? Okay, we'll move to old business. Our first item is the approval of the April Commission regular meeting minutes.
Move to approve April the 10th meeting.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any opposed? No. Motion carries 5-0. Yeah, I kind of thought the chief might be here.
I talked to him last night, and he said he was going to be here.
He was just at the gym working out with me, and he said, I'll see you at...
Things can come up in his
Civil
line.
That's,
Yeah, I
that's
think-
a whole nother story. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had something. He said, we're still stirring the pot today.
Well, he had approached us a couple of months ago, requesting the ability to credit law enforcement experience outside the Maumelle Police Department. And I guess 4 or 5 years ago, I might have made the argument that we didn't need to change this, that we needed to keep the fire and the police the same. But the hiring environment for police and fire in the last several years has really changed, and I can understand why he wants to do this. This does not involve the fire department. They did not want it, and that's fine. Nobody was trying to push anything. This was a request by Chief Williams. Our city attorney gave you a copy of the language that would be inserted into our rules in that first paragraph in the police department, but not the fire department. The requirement for 1 year in the lower rank may be served in the Maumelle Police Department or an equivalent department. And then down in the different ranks and positions, that language has been changed from the police department to a police department. And then it's made clear again under the firefighters, fire department positions that has to be served here in Maumelle to make that distinction. And then I think we extended the probationary period over on the last page for an applicant who was promoted during their original 12 months new hire probationary period to extend that probation for 6 months beyond the 12 that they would be on probation. So I'm open to any discussion.
And also, if I can, Mr. Chairman, on page 2, in the version I gave you, I left the old language of fire apparatus engineer that we should probably just change to fire lieutenant.
Yes, sir. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Do you think 30 days is enough for closing? I mean, if somebody gets hired on at 31 days, they're still eligible to take the test. Should we push that out to 60 days?
Pass that again. You caught me a little off.
On the first paragraph, it just says the closing date for the promotional exam is set forth.
I see.
And then it says the closing date shall be 30 days prior to the examination. Do we really want that somebody's hired in within 30 days to be able, or at, say, 40 days to, or should we close the, I'm not sure how to word that, I guess.
Well, they're going to have to still meet the requirements in order to test.
Well, but they would still be there. I mean, they would still meet the requirements of the 1 year in a department that we want, but do we want to give a little buffer of them to be on the department for a little bit of time before they're eligible to take the test? I mean, they're still on probation, but do we want to do like a,
Any discussion? It doesn't particularly bother me the way it's written.
okay.
And I certainly understand the point of view, but again, with the environment of hiring, the eligibility for promotion, I kind of like the way it's written as it is.
Okay.
And I would make a motion that we approve the changes to the regulations in Chapter 2 regarding promotions and requirements.
Chief, we were discussing your request.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Chief, you feel any need to say anything? No, sir. Okay. Motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
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 Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Our third order of business, I'm sorry, something that nobody ever thought about until Mayor Watson had to dig back through a whole bunch of minutes to straighten some things out that we, for some reason, had never embedded our testing weights in our rules and regulations. Don't know why we never thought of that, but we did not. And at the suggestion of the mayor, I'm open to discussion on that.
These weren't a HR policy or something? I mean, it wasn't written down in their policies or?
Well, they were written down based on a recommendation that that was made to the Civil Service Commission, and the Civil Service Commission approved these. Now, but when it was originally done, all that was there was a police captain, a fire captain, a fire engineer, a police sergeant, a police corporal. And so they were written down at that time, but they've been changed since then with subsequent motions. And so there's not anything in one particular area. You got to dig through the minutes to figure out what the Civil Service Commission approved. And we didn't even have a battalion chief or division chief when this was done. And so it was done later. And then we've also changed titles. So, that's kind of where in my mind it needs to be in the rules, so you don't have to go back and search through minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have missed it if it wasn't for Chief Ezel pointing out, hey, the Civil Service Commission voted to do this. And then it's like, all right, let me dig back through the minutes. And
It makes sense to me to clean it up and put it in one spot in the rules and regs, and then this won't be an issue again. Because I'm going to tell you, that was not comfortable for me with those two applicants out there last month for us to have to go back and determine what our intent was, because that flipped those scores.
Yeah.
And, I apologize to them because that should not have happened.
right.
And I hate to put people in that kind of a situation.
I just want to clarify one thing in my own mind. The fire division chief is or was the battalion chief? Is that?
That is correct.
Okay.
So
Same
I would-
as.
Right.
Well, just to clarify, the division chief includes the 3 battalion chiefs and the fire marshal are all in that same rank of division chief.
And I appreciate the fact that whoever put this together for the fire lieutenant put road assessment 30% rather than tactical or something like that, because that makes it very clear. And, it was obvious what our intent was. We wouldn't have approved a road course without giving it some scoring weight.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, that was an awkward moment for this commission with those two applicants. And I like the idea of just having this cleaned up in one spot.
Yeah.
So without any more discussion,
I'll make a motion to approve promotion list.
Second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Passed again. We don't have any new business. Any additional comments? Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. We are adjourned.
Michael,
About to set
have
another
you, have you offered the HR job to anybody else.
Not anybody else. I've got a candidate that I want to interview, but I haven't offered it yet.
About halfway afraid to, aren't you?
Yeah.
Have you,
Getting gun shy on my hiring here lately.
I imagine.
have you posted the other one?
Yeah,
Hands on a copy of the.
we got an applicant for that too, already one.
The
Got one for the finance.
finance.
Don't know if you ever made any changes in the language.
You know, she may have been a sweet lady, but